Go. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Winnerbracket Quarterfinal number 4. And we have HawK versus Happy. A classic, of course, in all the ESL Cups. Semifinals, Grand Finals. We've seen it all. Also in W3Champions. And last time, HawK was able to kick Happy down to the lower bracket. Can he do it again? Just like in Season 8. Remo and Carson will answer this for you. The winner faces Colorful.
So the first road bump out of the way. The lobby didn't crash again. Hallelujah. I would like to call praise to Jesus' name once again. Our Lord and Savior who was reborn tomorrow or on Monday. God damn it. To keep up my facade, I really should know this. Anyways, it is Shallow Grave, one of our new maps here as the starting one. And it's a ghoul built by Happy. Really cool. This is something he's been showing a lot recently, especially on this map. And on one other one as well that I'm forgetting right now. But Lich first, Fast Expo. That's the new hot thing out there right now.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't expect Happy to do that. I mean, I've seen many other people, especially Lucy does it a ton, but Happy of all people, didn't expect to see it. I do prefer, personally, this is just a bias, I do prefer Death Knight expansions, but Lich, why Lich over Death Knight, Remo Demo? Overall.
Lich is excellent at harassing early. First of all, you can creep the first camp quickly if you use Nova, though you don't have to. And you can take out the natural instantly, something that also the Archmage could do, but can result in issues. You really want to have that level 3 AM early. The big strength here of the Lich is you creep the natural with either 3 or 4 ghouls, and you run across the map with the ghouls, the skellies, and the Lich. And normally the human is always expanding as well, and you can do devastating damage. So much so that I feel like the proper counterplay for the human upon seeing the Lich might be not to expand, but to just creep, level 3, maybe get mercs, and tech. But it seems like most humans are disagreeing with me and are rather still going for the expo, which can be very, very tough to defend.
Very cool. Very cool. And, you know, Happy, of course, is going to have everything super optimized with this too. I love it's just a day of technical difficulties. Going on Netties now broke my audio for the clean feed. I love it. Oh well, at least we got the game. Okay, Lich goes towards the expansion.
Creep difficulties. The lightning shield is fully eating it. He's eating it. No. It's a goddamn Oreo. Ah! What was that?
Sweet Jesus, Lord in heaven.
Oh. If Happy ever scouts the main, this game is half over.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yikes.
That is
he's not expanding. He is not expanding. I wonder if it has to do with the lightning shield. Probably not. He's just playing aggressive. Alright, thumbs up from me, HawK. I think this is perhaps the better way to go about this. But Happy will secure the level 2 here. May have to invest the Nova. We'll get level 2. Did it just say he gets level 2 twice? I'm also very much online today. Lich gets the level 2 here, had to use the Nova. Takes out one footy. Maybe. Wow, that one actually gets away. And HawK, you know, playing reverse roles over here. He is the one harassing the under expansion.
Yeah, and those claws are going to help out a ton as well. The footmen being nicely microed away, but are going to be difficult to heal up. And yeah. Okay, the tech comes underway. The peasants, although damaged, are not at risk of falling just yet. Although they can't do any more split creeping. If HawK maybe wanted to creep a green camp with those bad boys, won't be possible. And Happy waits for the lumber to be able to build that gold mine.
We'll have it momentarily. Restocking up on some more items as well. One ghoul gonna get taken out. AM would of course love to get level 3. Ghouls are very interesting units in the game of Warcraft 3. They're extremely good early for being aggressive and for creeping. And they're also pretty strong on tier 3 with a frenzy. And everywhere in between, they're really terrible. So you always have to be very mindful of how to use them. But right now, on low levels, on both sides, the ghouls still work fairly well. But once we see rifles and level 3 AM and a second hero, the ghouls will have a much tougher time. By that point, Happy will want to have the expansion up and running. It's coming up now. It would be huge if HawK could find a cancel here. So now it's about movement and scouting for both players.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, you mentioned level 3 is going to be huge against the ghouls. So HawK's going to try to get closer and closer to that. We'll take more than just this green camp. We'll take a couple of those. And the shop is now done as well with a ton of low footmen on HawK's side. In fact, every footman is low, and the first rifleman I imagine is on the way out. Yeah, first 2, in fact. So this shop is going to find a ton of value. Luckily for HawK, the Lich is trying to get level 3 himself, too, so it's going to be not possible for Happy to secure any of these kills.
Items found for Happy so far really not the best. I know the Happy item hack was a meme for a long time, but I feel like lately that hack may have been malfunctioning, maybe not compatible with the new version. Just like W3Champions, am I right, boys?
Oh,
Expansion
Zinger.
about to be fully mining here in a sec. Happy far down in tech. I wonder what HawK's follow-up here is going to be. Against Dreadlord Fast Expansion, a proxy workshop push is super strong. Against Lich with ranged Nova pickoff potential, maybe less so. Hard to tell. This kind of meta, Lich Fast Expo meta, is still pretty underdeveloped.
Yeah, typically, at least with the Death Knight, it's like you see them just trying to get up to 70, 80 supply as early as possible, and then pushing with, Destroyers, 2 Crypt Fiends, Banshees. But with Lich, the downside of that is you can't do that early of a timing because you won't have level 3 Death Knight in all cases, because obviously your Death Knight is super duper late, and you need that level 2 coil to really do anything in these fights as Undead. So it'll be a little bit different of a follow-up, I imagine, from Happy, but one thing is for sure, and that is level 2 Nova is pretty strong.
Yeah, can take out the footage pretty well with that, but Happy wants to not overextend. He knows against the rifles and elementals, he can very easily lose all the ghouls. And while they are expendable, you want to not waste them all away, don't you? We have plenty of ghouls, by the way. Still lots in the main, lots of lumber for Happy. Because of that, going for a second crypt now. Graveyard is coming. We expect a Fiend transition here now coming up next. And maybe also some towers. Happy with 3 Ziggurats over at the Expo. And especially if there's no mortar teams, those will be very hard to crack.
HawK goes forward with +8 on the Archmage. Stormbolt available. Happy knows the ghouls, if they go out too far, they're just going to be dead, but Nova is still good at picking off these footmen. More ghouls reinforced. It's actually a decent number of ghouls, and it's only a couple of rifles now that all the footmen have been cleaned up by the Nova. Happy gets a surround on the first rifle, but HawK's able to fight his way out, but the Nova's going to secure that kill. Stormbolt's going to get 1 exchange at least, but this is definitely not the fight that HawK wanted here.
Yeah, isn't he attacking way too early?
Yeah.
He didn't have 50 yet, he didn't have any rifles yet, he didn't have critical mass, any priests yet. Didn't have critical mass on the rifles. He could just be still dealt with ghouls if he had waited a bit longer, maybe creep level 3 MK. Could have been a different story. Imagine Clap into all those ghouls. I guess it's also a difficult tightrope to walk, though. You don't want to give him too much time to be mining, to get fiends, to get DK and statues.
Right.
I guess the choice here to make is very difficult as a player, much easier for us silly commentators to say it wasn't so great in hindsight.
Why doesn't he just get mass Taurens, Remo? Come on. Taurens Bloodlust. We'll win. Right?
Yeah, it's my favorite unit, Carson, as you very well know. You're pulling on my heartstrings here, talking about Taurens. The tier 2 finishing and Fiends coming. This game is starting to look worse and worse for HawK. Maybe he can prevent the DK, though, by taking out the altar. But that could be remade elsewhere. Imagine Tavern Hero out of nowhere now. Out to a second for Happy, that would be pretty sick. Or he can just protect his altar, that's what he's doing. Takes out 1 priest in the back with Nova, finds a surround as well quickly with the ghouls, and Happy's taking no prisoners. He's imprisoning the Archmage, I guess. Easily able to force the TP here. First hero being saved, but the priest again in trouble. The Lich with Nova so strong, and now he's level 4. Dark Ritual level 2 now available. As I love pointing out, that skill is low-key OP. It's so much mana. It's pretty crazy.
It's so good when your Lich is really your solo carry in this army and you just have infinite Novas. It's like sometimes you get a Panda, you get him to level 3, and it's like, oh great, I have 1 Haze Fire combination because I have no items. But with the Lich, it's not the case. You always have Novas. And now he's going to be closer to level 5 with a nice consumable, and the Death Knight's going to meet up and be able to heal up the Lich after he takes a little bit of damage here. And HawK, I don't know, what can he do here? He's getting mortar teams. He's not going tier 3. He doesn't have the gold for an expansion. He's just got to push again, right?
Yeah, he's in big trouble. The first harass worked decently. The first big attack failed. The second follow-up attack was even worse. He lost his TP. He lost all momentum. He's incredibly far behind. Economically, hero level-wise, well, maybe not there. But also tech-wise.
Players'
Double
forces are
slaughterhouse
under
with
attack.
possible A-bomb transition coming. Honestly, this game should be impossible to win, but HawK will try.
Yeah, it would take a pretty big micro mistake, like losing the Lich, something like that. I mean, if Happy's not able to fight, say he loses his hero and he doesn't have the resources to tap and rebuy it, then the mortar teams are going to clean up the towers. So that's always a mistake that can happen, but obviously not likely in the hands of Happy, who's now going to have level 2 on the Death Knight. Does have a town portal, is going to TP back. Not the worst of armies for HawK, though. A 9 supply disadvantage, but rifles can be quite strong.
He has to do critical damage now, though, before tier 3 is finished. With Frenzy, with the Orb, with Destroyers, things are just gonna get worse. Long-range Stormbolt almost takes out a Fiend. The DK has now the coil available on level 1. We see a clap coming in against the ghouls, but it's only level 1 clap. Nova hits the backline. Doesn't find too many follow-up kills yet. Coil thrown as well, but Coil is low level. Lich now out of mana, but wait for him to eat a Fiend. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? You get so much mana from eating a Fiend with level 2 Ritual. He's being conservative at the moment, on a diet, like many of us, with summer around the corner. Doesn't want to munch too much at the moment. Falling back towards the middle, looking for reinforcements. He took out the mortar team, so Happy knows he bought a lot of time for himself without the siege damage. His expansion not really under threat right now.
Town is under
Yeah, it's
siege.
kind of brilliant. I mean, knows he doesn't have to fully engage in. Like he said, just pick off the mortar teams, back away. He's positioning in such a way that a lot of reinforcements might come by. And now he's got the Dark Ranger as well. Still needs to grab that orb. But there's not really... I mean, he's losing a Necropolis right now, Remo Demo. I don't think that's the end of the world for Happy.
Oh no, he don't care about that. None. He's got the orb now. He's got the Dark Ranger. And HawK in big trouble. About to level 4 Archmage. Don't know if that's going to make the difference here. Destroyers could be morphed soon. Not even needed so much though, I guess. Nova to the peasants. That one hurts. Kind of surprised he hasn't been more hungry on those fiends. Where is that Dark Ritual? I want to see the big eat. Happy, though, doesn't feel the need so far. Honestly, this human army is looking like a joke. We have like 3 rifles, a bit of mortar teams. There's just not much damage, not much punch to it. With a low level MK, that's always the problem. You don't have that burst that you need, especially against Undead, to find those kills against Nova. Against Coil, I mean. The Nova was used against the MK. He falls, and with the second hero hitting the deck, that must certainly be it. It is GG and 1-0 for Happy.
Solid game, solid game. Looked pretty easy, pretty clinical from Happy, as we expected.
Yeah, Happy doing happy things, huh? Just once again pointing out to all the haters in the community, saying Happy always plays the same. Once again, proven wrong. After Gargoyle and Dreadlord yesterday, Lich first today, a very, very solid victory. Happy hasn't won a W3Champions finals in quite a long time. Last time it was defeated by Soen. Before it was Foggy and Moon in the finals. Time to grab that throne again.
Yeah, absolutely. Shallow Grave proving once again to be a good playground for that. I wonder how a different timing that would have worked. Like, if you want to be aggressive and pressure on one base, shouldn't you really try to go for mercenaries? I feel like that must be part of the equation. Obviously, HawK was expecting the fast expansion. In a case like that, you know you're left alone at the beginning, so why not go for a merc camp first, get the mercenaries, fall back, creep more, get level 3, and then with level 3 and mercs, you would be really strong. I feel like there's still room for improvement there for HawK, but anyways, we're ready. We're all in, right? And we are eager to start map number 2. Northern Isles used to be Happy's favorite map, but it is now HawK's pick.
Okay, Carson, can you fix the sound on the clean feedback?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it. Yeah, for some reason Nettie's made it stop working, but I'm in the process trying to fix it.
Wonderful.
And it works. Nice.
See?
Sorry.
Sometimes issues just solve themselves. Isn't it lovely? Just as lovely as the performance of Happy in Game 1. He would face Colorful in the winner bracket semi-final, which is an opponent he has faced dozens of times in the past couple of weeks thanks to all the show matches. Can HawK strike back and create a little bit of a miracle here? Let's go find out.
For our second map, we're going to be returning to much more of a standard game. It's going to be a Tet Fiend opening with a DK first into the slow but strong follow-up into fast tech and fiends later on. On the other hand, we're going to have HawK with the fast expansion. So this now is the meta that we're all used to, and the meta in which Happy learned to terrify. Or perhaps the humans learn to be terrified of the monster that is Happy.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, his standard is much scarier than his weird builds, that's for sure. So, you know, he's it's nice to see that Happy could pull out these weird pocket strategies, the expert strategies, is much more willing to do them, but really what he's known for, what he's so good at, is just the standard, perfectly timed, perfectly executed, perfect understanding of creep routes and map positioning, standard Ted Fiends.
And we, thanks to having seen this so many times, know pretty much what to expect. HawK's gonna go for 1 green into Expo or 2 greens into Expo normally. Happy's gonna creep 1 or 2 greens as well, and then be the aggressor. And with Happy pulling it off so excellently, oftentimes this will mean that the pressure will never subside, and at all times HawK will have to be playing very carefully, defensively, trying to make sure not to take too many losses. Especially peasant losses, economic losses early on can lose the game for you already. Tech timings, lumber count, so many things here. Very important for HawK. He will have to pay close attention to.
All right, we'll see if he's able to get the claws again. HawK, of course, is what he got last game. It helped him out a ton, but just not simply enough. Happy, of course, looking for the same. And there's a marketplace, which Happy tends to love. He always goes to maps that have marketplaces. Gloves of Haste on the side of HawK. For Happy, it will be... We'll find out soon. The Footman being a little bit annoying. Nicely done from HawK to buy some time, and has so far not taken a ton of damage on the Footman. Always a possibility of a last hit, but not really when you're up against Happy. And it will be Circlet. Great for that Death Knight, and immediately towards the expansion goes HawK.
And looking at that Acolyte, we have seen sick moves by Happy before with the Acolyte. Tries for the Water Elemental, doesn't quite get it. Acolyte will sacrifice himself, give a bit more experience to the AM, finds the Periapt. Not really good early game, actually very good late game, but doesn't get so much value out of it at the moment. Happy continuing to creep in the middle. Is the item luck returning? Is it going to be Circlet into Mantle? That's exactly what he wants. Oh, there we go.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Meat is back on the menu, boys.
So good, and maybe, just maybe, he'll stop by. I mean, I'm wondering, because for Orc, you go to the, if you're spawned on this side, you'll just go to the shop and buy a Circlet. If you're spawned on the other side, you go to the marketplace. I wonder, okay, Happy's going to do neither, but he could always get another item later on. That marketplace is always open to buy some claws, but the expansion is now open to feast on some peasants, as it seems.
DK's got full mana, but only, in quotes, 2 skellies. Water Elemental taken out by the coil. So, very important here to keep track of the peasant losses. Every peasant hurts. Especially everything more than 4 would be painful. We got 1 going down, that's 2. Third one certainly also falling. 3 is kind of normal. AM hits the level 3, but we got more mana on the DK. That's 4. That's manageable. Not perfect, but alright, I guess, for HawK.
Yeah, could have maybe been a little bit better. He didn't have the, as you guys like to call it, the bouncer at the door for the peasants at the bottom, and then he could have maybe blocked the skeletons. You're always, like he said, going to lose 2 or 3, but I think he could have maybe gotten away with 2 even here, given the positioning of the Footman when the Death Knight arrived there. But it is Happy at the end of the day. Can't really blame HawK too much, and that is an acceptable amount of damage. As the expansion gets up, Arcane Tower also going to get up, and soon the tech will follow for HawK pretty soon. Yeah, right now, in fact.
Pretty even game, honestly.
Yep.
It's like aim with the fast level 3. DK got some kills, got good items. Nothing was surrounded. This is pretty much by the book. Like, if you were to write a synopsis of what to kind of expect in this matchup, this would be it, more or less. With perhaps the human tech looking a bit faster than normal. Happy arrives on tier 2, Lich coming, Slaughterhouse, Ziggurat, and then the tier 3 also would be expected to follow from him, unless he wants to go for a heavier tier 2 phase. Don't know what he's favoring at the moment. He's been deviating quite a bit with that nuance in terms of how fast he exactly attacks with tier 3.
Interesting play from Happy there. Not something I've seen before. He pulls the... He didn't have a Rod of Necromancy any longer, so he pulls the 3 Lumber Ghouls just to quickly grab that Ogre Magi, get the item, and get Death Knight level 3, and then sends them back. That does indicate that he wants to, like he said, maybe delay the tier 3 because he's going to have a lot less lumber and already got that 3rd Ziggurat. So it's going to be the 5 Fiends, 2 Statues, something around there. Pressure. Death Knight gets 3 greater heal, and Happy is looking to be in pretty good shape if he wants to get a bit aggressive, but it's HawK to be the first one to go across the map now.
And Happy, a bit lucky, I guess, with how this build is working out for him. He decided not to tech and is getting the benefits from it, because this push would be a lot more dangerous if there was a tech happening right now. I'm kind of surprised that HawK commits in all the footies despite seeing that there wasn't tier 3 happening. Let's see how many of those will fall. The illusions on the footies, soaking up a lot of damage, and in fact, not too many of the real ones have died at all yet. Of course, the Footman's purpose here is to buy time, and they will be the sacrifice always for the humans to go down in the end, but did ensure that Happy was stuck on his side of the map for quite some time and delayed the tech for even longer. I think the ghouls were also off the line for a bit, and this tier 3 is starting to get seriously late for him.
Absolutely, yeah, it's about to be even tech, in fact, and HawK, back at his expansion at least, is getting 4 towers, a standard amount, double arcane, double guard, at least, you know, in the past was always very, very standard, getting 3 in the main base as well. That's looking a little bit bare currently, but won't be forever. Happy gets aggressive yet again. Oh, Archmage has to be careful. There's a shop up and potions available pretty much now, but soon he's going to be low yet again. Coil Nova, and there's going to be another one soon enough as well.
Tier 3 has to be delayed by quite some time. Yeah, HawK going so heavily into the towers, I guess that cost him quite a bit here in the end for the tech timing. Now has to make the difficult choice. He's going to make MK first or tech first. Looks like tech first is the call. Try to go for this round with the ghouls, with the footies, I mean. Didn't quite get it. Don't think he can get that kill anyways with the DK ready to coil.
Oh my
Blacksmith, 3 HP. The hero peasant goes towards it. Will finish the blacksmith.
Yeah, I thought he was going to kill that peasant and there wouldn't be another one, and Happy was just going to kill it. That would be ridiculous at, like, I think it was at 1199 health, but nevertheless, Happy still pressuring a ton. HawK has to be so careful with that Archmage that has another potion. Castle on the way, Mountain King on the way, another 40 seconds before Stormbolt will be on the field. And Happy, of course, himself 60% through to that Black Citadel.
I like the SimCity here by HawK quite a bit, by the way. To be excellent at building placement for human, especially at the expansion, isn't easy. As you may notice, there's a little gap between the shop and the blacksmith. And this can kind of backfire on you if the undead goes in there, but honestly it can also be a trap. If the undead tries to break through this little needle hole, then the militia trap with the MK can be really strong, especially once you get to knights. This can work out very well for you. But the towers are still getting attacked, so this is the one thing. I think the towers perhaps could have been a little bit further back. Those 2 that were destroyed, but anyways. The shop is taken now. That's painful. No potions anymore for the AM, at least no new ones. Has to rely on the one that is still available. MK is finally out, but HawK still doesn't have much. This is, of course, always the scary thing in this matchup for human. You're having to defend with very little for a long time until you finally get those Knights and Paladin out.
Absolutely, yeah. This is one of the scarier timings for sure. He's just got to hold on a little while longer, but Happy, of course, isn't at his final stage either. His tier 3 is only now kicking in. That's going to mean possibly a Pit Lord soon. That's going to mean, of course, Orb, Destroyers, plenty of upgrades for Happy as well as HawK. Runed Bracers, that's going to be nice on pretty much any of the heroes, especially once that Paladin and especially once that Orb of Fire is online, as Happy goes back to grab the Orb. And we'll see if he gets that 3rd hero. Do you think Pit Lord here, or do you think just dual hero?
Wait a minute, before I answer that, I hope he sells it. Sell the Rune Bracers, please. Ah, that would have been such a baller play by Happy. You know, a statement in the sense of, you can't kill my heroes anyways. If you try to, it's a mistake on your end. You have to go for Fiends to have any chance. But
right.
And
he likes his items.
He's supply blocked right now, so he... well, not anymore, I guess. He made that next Ziggurat. He doesn't have the resources, though, for a 3rd hero. Fiends... getting sort of trapped in the back. MK lands Stormbolt. There should be one coil soon, but the DK isn't quite in range. He got off the deny somehow on that Fiend as the DK arrives, ready to pass over the Orb. The footy is now having a tough time against the Orb and soon Destroyers. Knights are needed badly.
There's no gold, though, for HawK. There's no gold at all. Like, you're saying Knights are needed, but he can't even produce a 2nd one yet. He would have to break upkeep for it, but I assume You know, if this Expo's not being completely busted right now, he can afford to wait a little while longer, but he needs more farms, he needs more gold. He's finally breaking upkeep with that second Knight, and the Paladin's on the way, but there's the Pit Lord for Happy.
Fire is doing a decent job limiting the healing, but simply the damage doesn't seem to be there to actually find the kills. Do some damage, yes, but actually execute those fiends is turning out to be difficult for HawK. Of course, he's trailing 0-1 here. If he loses this map, he's relegated down to the lower bracket. Happy would move on in the upper, as I guess we expect him to. Happy looking here as strong as ever. HawK needs a lot more time to build a big army.
Coil Nova available staff on the Knight. The coil was almost in the air. Here's the Paladin for Holy Light. That's going to be great on the Archmage. If another Coil Nova comes in on the Man on the Horse. Stormbolt going for Focus Fire on the Death Knight, but of course there's the Greater Heal. There's the Statue. And there's always going to be defensive coils as well. One more Fiend taking quite a bit of damage. Orb of Fire doing what it does best, and HawK will find a second Fiend. And maybe HawK is at last strong enough to hold. Maybe.
Oh, dude, by the way, I just noticed. Happy did sell the Rune Bracelet at some point.
Oh,
the Mind Meld is active again.
Imagine he loses Death Knight now. I want to see it. I want to see it so bad.
He's got the heal pot of the Frost Armor, and I think it really would be a mistake for HawK to try to go for heroes. That's a mistake I think many humans make, trying to focus heroes, especially focus DK, against a good undead who positions it well.
Right.
It should never lead to much.
Destroyer is being chain morphed, and of course there's not a lot of flying machines. In fact, what, the first two only on the way now. So for the time being, HawK can't fight. It seems as though the time being has been this entire game, though. The Paladin getting nuked staff out, but now there's no more Holy Light. A third Fiend gonna go down, but a Knight will be traded. A couple of flying machines finally come in. Of course, they produce very, very quickly, and the Destroyers are starting to run out of mana. In fact, they have run out of mana, but the Mountain King forced into a potion. HawK holds yet again, kind of.
Yeah, not bad by HawK. It's got the Paladin healing, and the main is going to be rejoining soon, but of course always some gyros get caught if you retreat in the web. One of the strongest abilities for Undead Web. It's kind of crazy strong, honestly. Taking a few more out there. HawK, is he strong enough now? He's got Knight's gyros, yes, but not in the numbers that he would like. Oh, and of course the Blacksmith fell. He can't remake the Knights now for some time.
He's building it back at home finally again. 3 Knights is a decent number. Stormbolt going to look for a 4th Fiend kill, but the coil is there. Over fire, though, we just see the power of the Knights, so if they can get on top of those Fiends. And HawK is looking like he's stabilizing. The supply is, of course, still not even, but another Fiend goes down. Paladin staffed out. And as long as HawK doesn't really lose a hero, he's not looking terribly, but he might lose the Mountain King now.
DK willing to invest that heal potion to get the kill, and that he does. Lich levels up to 3. Coil Nova becomes more dangerous, going for the next Knight. The staff is still on cooldown. 45 seconds on that staff for human. Quite a bit longer than Isle of Staff in comparison. HawK got a few kills, but Happy still with a sizable lead here, it would seem. Some Knights streaming in, and yes, their Sundering Blades are good, but they can get kited quite easily. The Lich being low mana here, and having been low mana with a few Frost Armors to use, was a bit of a problem for Happy, but the Undead's still in a strong position. 53 supply for him, only 50 for HawK, when clearly he needs a supply lead in this kind of game.
Paladin comes back in, but no sooner is he back than he gets focused down to half health yet again. HawK always trying to buy time, always taking damage on the Knights. Staffs one out to try to heal it up, but the other one now gets focused. Coil Nova, that one cannot be saved. Rain of Fire continues to kill peasants. Oh my god, all the peasants are about to fall. Ooh. And that's going to deny the mining. That the towers are now going to go down, and Happy seems to have enough to break the expansion of HawK at last.
We've seen this quite a few times in the past, haven't we? HawK trying his best, but in the end Happy being the victor. Or is there some kind of miraculous comeback? Militia flood coming in from the main, but there's so few forces HawK has to work with, and the Paladin just gets eradicated. Bye-bye. He didn't have a good time here in the frosty lands of Northern Isles. MK's back with some hammers, and he does get some kills. HawK always gets some kills, but never on the heroes and never enough. There's always a healthy backline for Happy still remaining. With 4 statues on the ground, reminding us of 1-2-0 and ensuring for himself that he never runs out of regen.
Mountain King 2.5, no level 2 Stormbolt yet. The Paladin will be back in about 8 seconds. The Knights continue to reinforce in 53 against 50 supply in favor of Happy. The Pit Lord about to reach level 3. The Death Knight even on his way to level 5, but 1 coil left. He always seems to have 1 coil left, but he always has it when he needs it. 1 more Fiend getting focused down. Paladin, or rather Mountain King, Nova down, and that'll be another hero kill on the side of Happy, and all the Knights are starting to fall as well.
2 of them saved via the staff, but they're out of the fight for a long time. And Happy's heroes are just so strong at this point. DK getting closer to 4. 4-3-3 is a very strong late game position for any tri-hero combo. And now it's finally time to break the expansion. No more mining here. Towers will be getting taken out. Can HawK stabilize on 1 base? Income. Normally it's not supposed to happen. His hero is especially too weak. AM is looking good on 4, but Pally and MK underleveled.
He's gonna try to remedy that just a little bit. If he can get Paladin level 2, if he can get Mountain King level 3, he'll be in a lot better fighting shape than he, in fact, ever has been in this game. But now the expansion, of course, dead. And HawK has broken upkeep. Both players have broken upkeep. But HawK is gonna have the much weaker army. There's the Pally level 2. Getting close to level 3 here. So we'll see. Will Happy give him any space? I doubt it. Happy's probably just going to march straight to the main base after this, I would guess.
And he will heed your advice. Moving forward. Skipping destroyers at the moment. Seemingly doesn't care about the Water Elemental so much and feels he can deal with the Knights well enough without magic damage. I don't blame him. With a strong Fiend backline and with the powerful heroes at his side. But if the 5 Knights are controlled well, they could do some good damage against these Fiends.
Yeah, that's definitely a crucial number of Knights. The Water Elementals can focus down the statues as well. The Paladin close to level 3, the Mountain King close to level 3, so a few kills. A statue, a couple of Fiends. These hero levels are going to start power spiking for HawK, but 1 Knight is the first to fall. A couple of Fiends getting low. How many coils is there currently? Actually, a ton. These statues have constantly been working overtime. 1 Fiend will finally fall, but the micro is still good for Happy.
Triple staff here on HawK. He can be so cost efficient if he's fast enough to save them, and if he manages them well. MK in trouble now, but Holy Light comes in. Last second, 1 more Fiend taken out, but now the 4 Knights clumped up. Coil Nova hits him hard, and 1 more kill, by the way, will mean DK5, but the staffs, or the staves, I suppose, coming in clutch. Pally close to 3, that would be a huge level up, but maybe he dies getting blocked by his friend. Whew. Last second potion from the shop, he just barely survives. But is he really out of trouble? Here's the question. Eats the Fiend with a Dark Ritual. Happy losing more and more units. The Knights worked out well against the Fiends, but the problem is the heroes are still greatly favoring the Undead.
Divine Shield off cooldown. Staff on the Archmage off cooldown as well, so perhaps both heroes can live. There's Staff out. Oh, Divine Shield, he's 2 mana shy.
He didn't have mana.
Unfortunate. Yes, so close. Man, and he would have been
leveling up. He was banking on that Divine
there.
Shield.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he didn't realize he didn't have the mana. That is a heartbreaker.
Because he's kind of holding, actually, too. If he has that Paladin alive, if he's able to get 1 more kill, get level 2 Holy Light, the Mountain King's going to be back soon. I mean, he's got so many Knights left. You mentioned the triple staff before the fight started, and he really has been using it quite well. Nice little rain of fire there to secure that Knight kill.
Pally back soon. Pally's extremely close to 3, and the MK also pretty close to it. If he has some time to creep, he will get it. Happy falling back, ready to continue creeping himself. There's a lot of big items still left on the map, but the big X factor that hasn't become part of the equation yet is the late game tech edition for Happy, and that is Banshees.
Yep.
After the expansion fell, he saw that he had time. He went for double temple. We have a depth training coming up right now, and he's got the lumber for Master. And dealing with Master Banshees on only 1 base is insanely hard to do.
Yeah, it's very well timed. As soon as the Mountain King gets level 3, as soon as the Paladin's about to hit level 3, the Banshees are online for the anti-magic shield. And what happened to all those flying machines, by the way? Did HawK just... Okay, they're still scouting. So he's still got enough if Happy decides to, like, for instance, chain morph 3 destroyers. He's got enough anti-air, so HawK's army is going to be good until those Banshees come fully online. Then it's going to be very difficult for HawK.
At least he's got the triple staff to deal with the possessions. So he's got triple staff and Stormbolt and doesn't have to worry about silence. So theoretically, he can cancel 4 possessions. That's a lot. Because of course when the possession is cancelled, the mana is still gone. But is that gonna be good enough?
4-3-3 versus 5-4-4. The Lich might be able to squeak out level 5 himself. He'd have to probably get the marketplace as well. It's possible, though. HawK is going to go take Happy's expansion, and then they'll probably be fighting over the marketplace, I'd imagine.
Gets a crystal ball here. What's he looking at?
Actually, no. The main
It's
base.
one of my favorite minigames as a caster. Like, where's the scan?
Bottom right.
It wasn't the main.
Oh,
I think
both
check
had a
out the
crystal
main.
ball.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they both did? Oh, interesting.
Yeah. HawK scanned
yeah,
the base and Happy scanned bottom right. There we go.
Yeah, okay, of course. Lol, that was a little dumb of me. Happy scanned his own main base. That probably not so interesting. But HawK finding the Ankh here, that's actually pretty good. That's another cheat death on one of his heroes. I love, by the way, that he kept the parry apt on the AM. I've been preaching this for years. Late game parry apt Archmage. Very good. Just like our FFA friends know all too well.
Wait, HawK is seriously lumber-starved. I'm only noticing that now. He's 54 supply, 1,500 gold. At first, I was like, why is Happy so ahead in supply? Now I'm seeing it. HawK needs time. He doesn't even have the farms currently to keep up in supply. And here comes Happy.
How does he have so much gold? I guess he was super duper cost efficient with these staffs. Staves. Happy is trying to force that fight right now. A lot of mana on the Banshees. He's got 5 of them. 6 of them.
Oh, Mortar Team's joining in now, finally. Only 2, though. Not quite the number you need. And Happy's at those crucial levels where he's just going to kill the Mortar Teams. As soon as he sees them, just Coil Nova and they're dead.
Does he even have frag sharks? I'm not sure. One Banshee taken out. Happy kiting backwards. Of course, he's got the advantage of the aura. Multiple auras. Oh, the Nova plus Rain of Fire.
Oh my god.
AoE damage. Oh my goodness. Pitlor in the front line, tanking like a boss with Frost Armor, Anti-Magic, and level 3 coils. There's no way of doing it. HawK is running in with A-Click. You can't do this in the late game with A-Click. This is just too inefficient. And now I guess everything has melted. Between ice and fire, his army has slipped away. Archmage almost going down right there. He does for the first time. Ankh triggered for now to drop. HawK stayed in this one, made it competitive pretty darn well. But in the end, there can only be one.
Yeah, that's going to be the 2-0. There's the GG. A nice try to HawK. Held on as long as he could, but Happy, as so often he does, gets the 2-0.
Exactly, and he stands in the winner bracket semifinal, where if Colorful is waiting for him, and if he makes it to the winner bracket final, then of course it's Lawlion, his way to the grand final, plastered with Night Elf. And oh boy, that was a pretty good hold there for such a long time. But yeah, if you throw all the knights onto a Pit Lord, that's not necessarily the greatest usage of them, as Remo pointed out immediately. Good eye, my friend, for that. HawK, though, good performance, continues to play well. On map 2, a lot better than on map 1, I imagine, but yeah. He made it to the play-in stage. We had tough opponents, and he shows once again that he's in pretty decent shape here, but in the end, Happy's happy.
Happy's happy. So often he is, and now he's got to prove it once again in maybe a matchup that he's not as strong in, against Night Elf. Maybe some difficulty will be shown here. We'll see how Colorful can do. It's definitely up for the task. Maybe we'll see some more of that Demon Hunter you guys have been preaching about recently in this matchup, so I'm excited for this one.
Okay, then we have 4 more games for you guys. It's Colorful versus Happy. It is 15 Sway versus HawK. And then, of course, Soen and Focus are waiting in the lower bracket round 2. We take a little bit of a break. You guys can check out the Matcherino for this tournament to maybe boost it up to 4,500. And you should definitely check out W3Champions.com if you want to play on War3Champions yourself. We got leagues for every single one. Doesn't matter if you just start or if you're an OG of the game and want to return, or if you're one of the best players on Battle.net and are trying to get real opponents now. We have leagues for all of you guys. W3Champions.com there on the right hand side. Also ways to support the project with Patreon, PayPal, cryptocurrency, Alipay, and WeChat Pay. We take a little break, do the map picks and bans. Hopefully everything works this time, as our next match is Happy versus Colorful.